And we are live. Welcome, everyone, to the third episode of the Phantoms VR podcast. Today I'm joined by DezzyFox, as always, Nuck, and Shiva, like every single podcast that we get guests on. And today we're kind of just going to be talking about new VR headsets coming out and a little bit about Snapshot as the season just started up, yesterday?
Well, it started Monday, but we had the first match yesterday between Team Snreeb. I'm not sure how to pronounce it actually. Is it Snreeb or Snreeb? But that's Jesse. That's the I thought it was Snreeb. Okay, but that's Jesse, the developer, is his team, and he's just got three of his work buddies on it. It's like their bowling league, you know. They just hop on and have fun. they almost won it. They lost one of their players, or one of their players didn't show up. So for the first two maps, they played a man down. They still had a couple of close points. They would get down to 1-on-1s and 1v2s constantly. Jesse had a great off-the-box kill on map 2 where he got two people going to the snake-off break. I think we've got a clip of it.
We got a clip of it we can actually show real quick.
Yeah, because like Jesse, you know, because I mean, he made Snapshot. He played paintball. He's got that off-the-box pull, you know. That's a skill that people for sure have to practice if they want to be competitive in the VRML now because of that new.
Oh no! Why isn't it showing? It's not showing us on the Discord for some reason. Hold up.
That's what I enjoy about Team Snreeb too. Is Jesse's always the wild card on the team, and if he's having a good day, he could really punish you.
Oh yeah, like he was getting 2-packs. I think he got a 3-pack. He would just be consistently tearing stuff up.
There we go.
And his teammates actually did well too. Like they won a couple 1-on-1s. They were getting kills. They just need a little bit. They need to learn a little bit more fundamentals about the game.
But here we got a little clip from that match. Jesse picking up a 2-piece here. Just start it up.
Make sure it fits to your main screen.
If Jesse can keep those consistent kills off the break, he might be able to turn it around here. So watch how everybody has to touch up on this box before they're able to start shooting.
I don't know if it's good.
That's a way to prevent just aiming down the field.
Is that going? I have it up on my screen on the stream.
Okay.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay, good.
Catching someone in the first second of the game, which is still possible if you're quick enough. We've seen bodies drop in the first second. Games ended in 5 seconds. It's now 2v3, 2v2. Jesse does not see explosion coming down Dorito side, but Jack. If Jesse
Hopefully we all saw that there. We'll have to make that a bit better later.
Well, if we couldn't see it or someone couldn't see it, basically in the first 2 seconds of the game, Jesse pulls up off the box, has a stream of paint going, and 2 of the DezzyWezzy UWU fan group players walked right into it.
Shiva, say ooh right now, you won't.
I refuse. No.
Yeah, for anybody watching, that is correct. There is an entire VRML team named after me.
That had Explosion, Flaming Neon, and I can't remember the other Soviet Cobra, and then one more.
Cookies.
He wasn't playing. He was in the chat though.
Then it was Ghost 74U was the
that
other
was
guy.
it. Yes, Ghost.
Jeez, actually, Dezzy too popular already.
I saw the tweet about DezzyWezzy early today, and I thought it was about Dezzy, and I was, whoa, are we playing today?
No. Actually, Phantom Snapshot, I just scheduled the match today. It is set for Saturday at 3 p.m. Central, so that's going to be fun.
That's like right when my Quest 2 comes.
We've yet to have a practice with all 4 of the starting line.
Yeah, we are having an early morning practice. Well, kind of early morning. Well, I'll have to get with Maverick and figure that out. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah, good. He hasn't even shown up for a practice yet, has he?
No, but he's been going hard as far as making it to every big game night and stuff like that. So.
Okay, good. And there's solo drills that you can do, like Nuglo. You were there for the snapping drills practice. Yep. That's something everybody needs to do before practice, just to get your snapping on point, especially with these new movement upgrades, because it's actually not as easy to just jiggle around and snap using the joystick. And because of the increased movement penalty or the accuracy penalty for moving, it's more beneficial now to get to your bunker, plant it, and actually physically snap like you would in paintball. Like you engage your core and you lead and you snap. And you have more control, you have better aim, the accuracy is on point. It's a laser beam when you're just standing there and not enabling the joystick. So you need to be like physically fit and actually work those movements now. It's going to be snapping, it's going to be a core, and then for sliding, it's squats. You need to be able to squat and then pop right back up to stop so that you actually slide into the bunker, get there, and then you can snap out. We'll do a drill where we're going to practice running out to the corner, sliding, planting your feet, and then snapping out to kill anybody that's trying to get to your mirror. That's something that we would practice in real life paintball all the time. And that's going to be a crucial skill in this season for Snapshot.
So do you think Snapshot is actually starting to reach the level of where it could easily translate over to paintball?
I think it already has a little bit. You know, Chill Switch Engage, he hadn't really played any competitive paintball before. I think he messed around in the woods a few times, and he was on my Steam Open team. We were the mod squad, and he won his first 3-man tournament, I think, like last week or 2 weeks ago. And it's from getting those plays in Snapshot. It's not one-to-one translation quite yet, but especially now with these new movement mechanics, it's almost getting there. It's like I for sure feel more immersed now than I did before, and I already felt like really immersed when it first came out, and I was like alpha testing the game. I would get behind a bunker and snap. Now with the sliding implemented, even though I'm not physically sliding, like I feel that movement when I duck and my avatar is sliding in. I can pop up, snap. It's a lot more physically demanding now, and it just feels a lot more realistic. And I think it's one of the more, because this is a one-shot, one-kill game, it really helps you focus your gun mechanics and gunfighting skills. It's something that translates over to other shooters as well. Like Nucklear, you were saying, didn't my snapping drill help you in Contractors?
Oh yeah.
What were you telling me yesterday?
Yesterday we were just doing some pubs or something, and I was sitting behind a tree, and I felt the movement again. I was just like, oh yeah, just snap over and just landing headshots left and right. Just like doing those snapping drills really do help.
Yeah, you land your targets.
How does the snap works in a snapshot? Because in Onward, when you place your head outside of the corner, your legs come with it.
Mm-hmm.
So it happens the same in a snapshot.
Well, no, that's one of the new improvements. So when you are moving with the joystick and stop, when you lean, your feet stay towards the center of your play space, or like where it was supposed to be. So you can actually get behind a bunker and just the top part of your body is leaning. So you're not going to get shot in the foot like you normally would. I think that's something that most shooters should start implementing, because I want to snap in Onward and Pavlov and Contractors, but my whole body is exposed.
Yeah, and that's a real problem, because you have to pick and move back, because if you don't do that, you get shot all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, leaning is a legitimate mechanic, even in real gunfight. Well, maybe not real gunfighting. I mean, you're not really going to see somebody do that. But leaning is a thing in Rainbow Six Siege. So why not have a similar mechanic in other shooters? I mean, personally, if I was in a gunfight with my AR-15, I'd probably still try to like lean a little bit. You know, it depends. But I mean, it's a legitimate strategy. It works. But it's different in paintball because there's no recoil really, and the center of gravity makes it a lot easier to just like rotate and snap with a marker, because you got a thick like heavy tank right here, and you can just rotate around that central axis in one like smooth and simple movement.
Right.
Whereas that's a little bit hard. It's a little bit different with when you're actually holding a rifle, but the mechanic is still similar. So I think other shooters should definitely start implementing something where you can lean and you're not exposing your whole body.
Yeah.
So we should talk about teams to watch out for in Snapshot this season. Like, we've got WTF looking good.
Yeah.
Well, you're all paintball players.
WTF is looking good. Like, we did well against them the last time we played them. We didn't lose by a lot, but they're looking good.
Yeah, I think they're for sure one of the teams to watch out for.
And we just happen to be playing them this Saturday. That's going to be wonderful.
Yeah,
that's a good start.
That's why I need to practice.
And then underdogs this season. I mean, they lost Fox Crew. How do you think that's going to affect them?
Pretty negatively. I think he's a great player. So the underdogs losing Fox Crew is going to be a huge blow. Maybe not that huge of a blow. I mean, Merrick is still number 2. Show Me Virtual or GZ is still a great player. Who's their other one? Uncle Randy. They're all good shooters, and then they picked up Eclipso, right?
Yeah.
How many teams are there?
We'll see how it shakes out.
How many teams are there in the season 1 compared to preseason?
So there's still a
7.
few teams. Yeah, there's still a few teams showing inactive. I know there was one team that just went active, a brand new team to the league. I forget what they're called though. They're not made of any players that played in the preseason. They're all new to the Discord. They're all new to the game. And then we have a few teams that are showing inactive that I'm hoping will come active again here soon. As of right now, there's 7 or 8 teams actively participating.
One thing I'm predicting though is that, like, from me streaming on Twitch and talking about my experiences on Snapshot, and honestly, I promote Snapshot a lot. For some reason, I'm just like always like, oh hey guys, had my Snapshot match, or I'm always pinging people.
I'm the social media manager.
I'm playing Snapshot right now, or like I'll stream Snapshot sometimes, and people that own a Quest and don't have access to virtual desktop or link cable have shown like they're like, I would totally buy this and play it. A lot of people are like, Nuggle, I want to come play with you on Snapshot, and when I get it, when the Quest release comes out, I have people being like, we're gonna make a team, we're gonna go play you in the VRML, and I'm like, hell yeah, come play me, I would love to. And it's just it's just a matter of time waiting for that Quest release, and I feel like we're gonna have a ton more teams when that drops, even if it's mid-season. I feel like people are gonna throw teams on just to join up whenever they can.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, especially paintball. When paintball players can get into virtual reality paintball for $300 or $320, you know, that's less than an event.
Right.
Like,
and they can play unlimited paint. Unlimited paint.
They'll
they
spend
keep going.
thousands of dollars a year. I have personally spent over $5,000 a year playing in the NXL and flying around the country playing in all these tournaments. So some people may still, you know, splurge on a PC and like an Index or a good headset, but most, if they can drop that $300, get a Quest 2 and hop right in, you'll see a whole bunch of new teams pop up.
Yeah,
and you know, I think that's going to be another thing that we see too, is when the Quest release does happen, we're going to see a massive influx in players. Coming
it's going to follow the same pattern of other games.
Right. Well, exactly. And I already know that too, only because as a social media manager, like, I'm getting messages all the time, every day, asking me when the Quest release is happening, if there's a Quest version coming out for it, all of this. So I can't wait, because I'm tired of telling people to be determined or to be announced. Like,
it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming. Just wait, guys. Hold on to your horses.
It's on the way. Like, I'm for sure gonna buy a copy of it for my Quest 2 and like see what would be more beneficial. I'll probably still play on the PC just because latency might still be an issue, because it is a one-shot, one-kill game. That is, ping is still a factor. Hopefully not too much though.
I said the same for Onward, but when the Quest release came out, I moved to the Quest.
Really? Okay.
With the amount of love and everything that Jesse and Tanner both put into it, I really think that the Quest release is going to be polished once it comes
They'll
out.
find something,
Yeah, and
I'm not worried at all, really.
Me either.
It's more of a personal preference. Like, what am I going to want to like be comfortable snapping with? And
I'll probably be.
I personally will still be staying on PC.
And it's not a game heavy on graphics, so the port is gonna be one-on-one.
Yeah,
it is not
resource intensive.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, that's the other thing is visuals. How much are they going to change the visuals for the Quest release?
With the graphics the way they are in the PC version, I don't think they'll change the visuals at all. You don't need to.
No, and it's a strategic decision, is to save on resources, and it works. Like, they'll be able to run the core of the game on the Quest 2. Probably on the Quest 1 too. Because they were working on it for the Quest 1 before Quest 2 was even announced.
Right.
Yeah, and
then
they can run it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, we've also, and this is just a little inside information for y'all, we've got cyber shoes coming to Snapshots. So
cyber shoes.
me and the community manager of Cyber Shoes have been talking, and he sent me their code and everything for it, which I passed along to Jesse, and they're sending him a dev kit and everything. And what Cyber Shoes is they are these VR shoes that you wear, and you sit down, and then you move your feet, like shuffle your feet.
Yeah, I'm
like run.
Picturing how I'm gonna do it, you know, because like I mean,
wait, so you have to sit to play now?
Yeah, it's like I'd have to like raise my seat up and be like, hold on, can I at least stand on them a little bit to like plant myself so I can snap? Or
I don't even know how they work.
Can you not?
What happens if I jump on them?
Last I checked, they even come with their own chair.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
You never saw that?
I've never seen Cyber Shoes. I don't see any of these.
I know you like.
Okay.
Yeah,
my problem with my problem with Cyber Shoes is how do you slide in a snapshot?
Yeah. That's true. You have to just fold down in your chair.
Like that.
Just all of a sudden just
slide.
Just like
your crotch like a Japanese fire drill. That's what it is. It's like.
Oh God! See, he can't make it a button. Like it has to be that movement.
Yeah, it has to be the
satisfying.
just the drop. I got my chair. I don't know. Ugh.
Yeah, so the Cyber Shoes, like they have to have some kind of like rig eventually. Like I'm gonna have like some kind of sex swing or something hanging from my so I can be running and then actually like dive and slide and
real
stuff.
Ready Player One vibes out here.
I know, right?
Snapshot just got sexy.
I can't wait.
Snapshot just got sexier.
Welcome to Shiva's sexy ass Snapshot.
Sexy Snapshot.
Oh, no. But earlier, speaking of like how Snapshots from the Quest 1 and the Quest 2 came out, new headsets. That is something going on currently. Some new headsets coming out. I know Nuck did some research into it.
A new headset, but...
It breaks my heart because for me, this is still a new headset, man.
Yeah, it is. But
there's going to be the Quest Pro soon now. So.
I don't think that all those new headsets are coming to compete directly with the Quest 2. I mean, the only competition Quest 2 can get is Quest 3 right now. Because I don't trust HTC because
the Cosmos.
Yeah. Someone lost their job over that.
They have to prove me wrong before. So the Pico Neo is going to straight to China, so it's not competing in the West. And the only competition I see is the PSVR 2.
You really call that competition? You're really gonna call that competition?
But anything that's close.
They play in the same playground. So
I will say, as far as the PSVR goes, I find it interesting that they're already starting to work with like Dave from Pavlov and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like Sony worked out a deal with him and a few other developers that are already prominent in VR.
And what do you think about the PSVR controllers?
Yes, shiny Vive ones. They look amazing.
Yeah, the OG ones I didn't like. I wouldn't.
Yeah, but okay, so this is a controller right now, okay, and for the PSVR,
I love it.
You have all that bulky shit all around your hand.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. What if I need to like rotate my hand for some reason? Like that's really stupid.
Right.
How many times have you been playing in Pop 1 and crashed your controllers? Climbing
all the time.
Many times. Yeah. And what happens
with those WMR
controllers?
I would never use those.
I don't need better controllers than this, or better tracking. So why do you need all those rings all around? People were saying that they were sexy and they loved it. I hate them.
Adding more weight to a controller is going to cause so many more problems later.
Yeah, you have to think about ergonomics and function. Like that's why I prefer the Quest 2 controllers over my Index right now. Because, well, hey, I'm trying to make a stock for it, and look at what I have to fucking Frankenstein together to get it to work. The angles are all weird. It's taken me like a week to get the angle perfect. Whereas the Quest 2 was just perfect. And the Quest 2 controller feels like a gun handle. The buttons are closer together. I know where everything is. The Index is similar, but it feels so weird. Like this does not feel like a rifle, most like the way they have it rounded. It doesn't feel like an AR-15 or a pistol grip. It's something other. It's something weird. It's like a banana or something. I'm not sure what they were thinking with this, but these companies, like seriously, you need to work with either gun manufacturers or some other kind of ergonomics. You need to hire someone to work on ergonomics.
So Shiva, when are we commercially making your stocks?
It's in the I gotta finish it first.
The thing about all of these reviews, though, that are like, oh, those controllers are sexy and blah, 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 is that these are people that are reviewing the PSVR and aren't like we are into VR.
Not actual VR players.
Yeah, they don't have the experience.
Probably never played.
They don't have the experience with the headsets or the controllers and know which controller configuration, or just the way the controller is built, which one's better. Like, they're gonna think that they've got top of the line, and then like one of their friends is gonna bring over a Quest 2 and they're gonna hate their lives.
You're like, yeah, check this out. And your PlayStation was how much? And how much for extra for the? Well, okay, does PSVR come with a PlayStation now?
No.
One thing I love though on my index controllers is I didn't have a printer yet, so I bought these. But I bought these grip extenders, which extended out the grip on it a ton, and I put grip tape or this like weird.
Oh, like I absolutely got.
Poly. Yeah,
that's what I've got too. Like this is just a prototype, but I have a section that adds an angle so it feels like an AR-15 grip, because I hate holding it the way it is. I need it to feel like a rifle grip.
Yeah, I can't hold the controllers without the extended grip now. It feels too weird.
You have to keep in mind that VR is not only about shooters. So
well, true.
Yeah, manufacturers are not going to move to a gun grip in their controllers. That's something we have to
go VR with a stock.
But companies that make like AR-15 pistol grips, they spend a lot of time and research into what feels good in your hand. Like, look at some of these competition like shooting grips, and you'll start to see VR grips look like that too. It's not so much about holding the rifle; it's about holding what feels good.
Probably most companies will go with a new set of controllers than designing their entire controller around a pistol grip or something like that.
And that's what I really enjoyed about the Quest 2 before it released, when they were announcing it, was they put a lot of time into how these controllers were built and like shaped and everything. The ergonomics on them are absolutely incredible. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I really appreciated about Oculus.
One thing it boggles me is that you know how much you need to get used to your controller in a new headset. So modifying the shape of each controller, each iteration is a problem. You know, if you're competing with one headset for 2 years or 1 year, it's a problem when you get the new one. For me, at least.
See, I was lucky. I came straight from the Rift CV1 over to the Quest 2, and
me too.
The ergonomics in the controller. The ergonomics in the controller are super crazy similar,
but this
wasn't
is heavier.
really a different feeling for me. Yeah, it's a little heavier, but that didn't really affect me.
It's heavier and bulkier.
I went from an HTC Vive to an Index, which is a huge
Come to Phantom's
change.
practice, and Shiva will work you out.
The ones are the worst controller.
Yeah, I could not get over the wands. Like, those were sorry.
I played Beat Saber with those. That was a workout and a half. Those things are so heavy.
Yeah, there's no buttons you're really pressing. It's just
you have to play it inverted with the wands. So I have one more topic. The Deca move. Did you hear about it?
The Deca.
Oh yeah.
Deca move.
I haven't heard about it.
The hip tracker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What? Yeah.
What's your opinion? Talk.
I mean,
so when I first heard about the Deca gear getting announced, I was super skeptical about everything they were promising. I haven't really heard too much more on it. So I'm gonna hand the floor over to you guys. I just know that I was super skeptical when they were like, "Oh, this headset straight out the box
too.
is gonna have like facial recognition and tracking." And,
I think everyone had the same feeling.
Mhm.
You know, it's a new company competing with the big ones, so they had to prove what were they saying, but now they delivered the Deca Move, the hip tracker, and it's a great improvement on shooters because you can now move straight and turn your head and your weapon without shifting your hand.
so real straight.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, so what do you mean? Like you can I can still be walking one way, and like I just rotate the top of my body, and I'm still
You're still walking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that's actually a skill you're supposed to develop in paintball. Like you think of yourself as a turret, like your legs should be able to move one way while your upper body should be able to turn and shoot anybody that you need to shoot.
And not only that, when I play Onward, and I used to throw the nades with my left hand, and this is the position controller, the positioning controller. So when I'm running and I try to quickly throw a nade, I move backwards.
Do like a stutter step.
Yeah, exactly. And
I hate that.
Yeah, but that's a problem with VR because I hate the head tracking for running.
Yeah, I cannot do head tracking.
This is something I had to live with. So with the hip tracker, it's a great improvement. It might be some problems with it. I don't know yet, but I will have to try. And actually, Deca Gear, I think it's Deca Gear, the name of the company.
Yeah,
they are releasing application for the phone that you can use your phone in your pocket to get the hip tracking with the compass.
Will that work with just their headset?
No. It's standard for everything.
Really?
What I don't know if that you need the dongle that they are delivering to connect it and with the headset.
Yeah, you'll need something Bluetooth. I mean, unless your motherboard already has a Bluetooth connection.
Yeah, but your phone has Bluetooth, so maybe they are something. I don't know.
Yeah, they could put a dongle on the computer to connect it up.
Yeah,
but
I mean, if I can use my phone, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
I know they're
another thing you got to charge now though to make sure.
You're always charging your phone anyway. What are you always on 5%, Nuglo? Come on.
Nah, it doesn't matter
you're
now.
not on always 5%. Wait, am I doing?
I'm on 21% right now. I haven't charged it though. Should probably plug it in.
39.
I'm charging as we speak.
I'm plugging mine in right now. Plugging it in.
I use my Rift cable to charge my phone because I've got a Samsung.
Well, I have a shitty iPhone with gotta still rip the giant scale.
You are all sponsored by.
I just want to point this out. I just got to point this out. Nuglo's rocking not only the Snapshot T-shirt, but he's also got the giant scam label on the back of his phone. And I'm the social media manager.
You're messing up, Dezzy.
Well, no, it's really a statement because it's an Apple. Giant scam.
On Apple product. I love it. I'm using an iPad.
You gotta
so, one more question. The new HTC Vive, or whatever they want to call it.
I haven't seen it yet. It's a standalone? Well, because they've only had it like a teaser picture. It's a headset covered by a cloth on the table, but there's no cable connected to it.
No, wait, so the camera's gonna pan around, the cable's gonna be coming down the back. They're like, haha.
Well, I'm hoping if they were smart, they're teasing wireless, because why would they have a headset on a table with nothing plugged into it if it needs to be plugged in? You know?
Yeah,
but I mean,
there's no computer.
I think they are going to stand alone, but they are using inside-out tracking, and I bet, maybe not betting, but HTC is not good enough with optical tracking.
Well, maybe they learned their lesson.
Maybe they learned.
Maybe they'll actually use basics.
Again, they have to prove me wrong.
Doesn't Maverick use a Cosmos?
He does.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
We have been 30 minutes into the podcast. No one's really been in the stream too much though, but we'll open the floor to any questions or anything while we're still talking. So feel free to just slam it in the chat, and we'll answer that right up.
Slam it in
Just
there.
slam it
Well,
in the chat.
I wanted to mention though, we'll figure out more about that Vive headset at ViveCon, right? It's going to be May 11th. So
Word at
it's
though.
not too far. And then Oculus is supposed to have their gaming showcase or something too.
Yeah, on 21.
Where's our tickets to those, Nuck? Huh?
Yeah, for real.
Where's our tickets to those?
It's interesting that you
virtual.
ask where the tickets.
So
Oh, it's virtual.
Oh yeah. Well, where's my virtual ticket?
Where's my virtual ticket? Where's
So-
my email?
yeah, I can send it.
So right before COVID, like they like Oculus had invited the VRML and any players that wanted to go to DreamHack Atlanta
What?
to show off Oculus gear and stuff like that. But then COVID hit. So once like restrictions and stuff, are like gone or
Yeah.
at least levied a little
Yeah,
bit.
I'll go get vaccinated to go do that.
Dude, I'd get
I
vaccinated to go do that.
I imagine that the VRML will start getting more invites to go do these live VR events and stuff like that. Only because like, who better to show the average person how to use a VR headset than us?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
what
that-
we did. That's what we did in Barcelona.
Yeah.
Right,
And
exactly. And they were
actually-
doing
Before Corona started, we were going to be at DreamHack Madrid.
Yeah, see, and I was totally all for it. Like, the only thing you had to do was pay for your own like travel there and hotel.
I mean,
But like,
we were
you got
organizing.
passes.
We were organizing a parallel event in Madrid in DreamHack.
See, what I want to see is the VRML start up live events, and I want to see Phantoms U.S. squads kicking ass live.
Yeah, of course, and that's something we need to keep people
Yeah.
motivated in competing. Because I see many times that people is asking for lands, and if they don't get it, they are moving to other games where they can get lands.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's really, as far as that goes, live events and stuff like that, the only problem is COVID. Because once that's no longer an issue, like, we can start competing live and actually traveling to do this.
A
And
lot of
whatnot.
places restrictions, like not really US wise, but other places wise, have been loosening and then retightening and loosening, retightening. It's
but
there's
that's
really
not the
no
problem.
sign.
The
about it.
problem is no one wants to take the risk to
Yeah.
move a lot of people to an event and get everyone contagited.
Well, in
That's why you get your
you heard
vaccine.
You're gonna hear it here first, because DezzyFox is absolutely willing to put your lives on the line. to go to the live event.
Well, like, if there is any live event that could work well, it's a VR esport competition. Like, every player is going. You can have every player separated by 50 feet, and it's still
Exactly.
functioning. You know.
Yeah. And dude, I
Just
just
don't share headsets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, bring your own.
Yeah, it's a bring your own headset, like BYOH, bro.
Bring your own headset.
Right. Well, so, I mean, that's like what we said before. Is like, you need to. Like, I'm not gonna put on somebody else's headset, use somebody else's controller, especially when I get my own grip made for this. Like, it's what I'm gonna use. So don't try to force something else on me.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
it always what I said before. There's a huge difference using a different controller or a different stock, or even your stock. If you loosen it and you move it a bit, that's a huge.
Yeah, that's why mine doesn't move at all.
I'm excited. I'm
It's
actually building
great news.
Shiva's stock right now. I got the
I
Shiva
bet-
sent me the files of it and all the instructions, so I'm actually excited to get that going.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
got the
once
Quest
you're
2
done
one
with
already
that, go
made.
ahead and you can go ahead and ship that bad boy to Arkansas and go ahead and start on one for yourself after that.
Yeah. 40 bucks first, please. Thank you.
I'll send you $40.
So I have one more news about Pico Neo, the version 3, because they are implementing a curved screen in the headset. I don't know if it's for having more FOV or what, but it's running at.
Are they
90
still
Hz.
running dual, or is it a
Oh.
one screen?
I think it's one.
Okay,
Like
I have an opinion about this. So I fly FPV drones, and I have a headset that is a mono screen, and it's just one screen with two different magnifying lenses, so it kind of meshes really good. It's okay, but like I thought, like, what if a VR headset was like this? And I thought, no way, it is way too weird. I mean, it's not curved in my FPV headset I use, but it's definitely way too weird to have one screen. You feel very much out of the action on FPV headsets, but yeah, that's mine.
I think
that's what the Quest 2 is.
Yeah, but Nuglo is messing up because in FPV drones you see the whole image in the screen, and with the lenses.
So you don't have binoculars.
No, you don't. Yeah. That is true. That's true.
Yeah,
Yes.
but in VR headset you have the same screen is splitted in the center with the lenses. But,
Right.
Well, I was about to say there's virtually no difference because you're seeing the same image. It's just on one screen versus having two separate screens.
So what I'm thinking though, the screen, like if you're saying that it's just a mono screen that's curved, it's probably going to be a single screen without being divided then. And if it is, the curve is what's going to make it look natural in the headset.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at even the Quest 2 lenses, there's a slight curvature to them, and then I mean just the human eye, there's a slight curvature. So as long as that screen is a single piece but with a curve, yeah, it could look natural in the headset.
What I think is that the curvature is going to provide a bit of peripheral vision.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like definitely going to increase FOV.
Yeah, and you won't get higher FOV, sharp FOV, but it's only for your peripheral vision.
Well, if you want FOV, go get a Pimax or something then, because
that's what I've got too.
Those things are.
I'm about to run that for once I get this made, I'm gonna test the Pimax versus the Index in contractors to see which one I like more, because the Pimax, like, I can see so much more, but I didn't have a chance to set it up with my controllers yet. And plus I was playing on the Quest 2 more.
I think I'm gonna
I think that Quest 2 limited FOV.
Buy a what?
It really
I think I'm gonna buy a Cosmos.
Cosmos? Why?
You want
to break it?
The stress test.
Smash it.
I tried it in Barcelona just when they launched the headset, and the tracking was really bad.
God, they look dumb too. I'm sorry, HTC, but they look dumb.
No, they messed up. They need to be
poor Sleuth watching the podcast right now, just crying.
It's all I've got, guys.
He said he might get a Quest 2 though, so I think that's. I'm getting.
I mean, everybody should just have a Quest 2 as a backup. Like, if you're going to be
that's literally what I did
in esports, like, you need a backup headset. Like, I would liken it
battery
to
critical
paintball. Like, I have 3 Merkers. Like, I have my primary, and then I have 2 backups in case, for some reason, my first 2 fail. And it's about the same price.
Charging battery.
For $300, I'm sorry. Like, give Facebook some money. They're doing it right.
Yeah. Facebook definitely. Yeah. They definitely finally did something.
I mean, you hate to say it, but I mean, look, they're what's keeping VR alive, and they're what is going to keep VR growing. So you gotta support it.
Yeah,
I'm an Oculus fanboy. I mean, it's okay. Like,
I mean, it was my first headset too. I had the CV1. I was heartbroken when it broke. Like, when the cable finally stopped working, like, it still works. It just cuts out every once in a while, so I couldn't compete with it if I wanted to. But if I wanted to fire that bad boy up, I still could.
My CV1 stopped working at the beginning of the preseason.
So sad.
Oh, it's definitely gonna be my collector's item. Hopefully, it'll be worth.
That's what I kind of wanted to start doing. I kind of wanted to start collecting different headsets and just be testing them out and just being like, "Oh, they're all my VR headsets." I already got 3 so far.
Yeah,
I've got my CV1
I have
on
4.
Like,
you have 4? Nuck, what headsets do you have?
Yeah, but those are old ones, because I have the DK2, the Gear VR,
you have the
CV1.
DK2?
Wow.
Jeez.
When did that come out? Wasn't that 2015 or even 2016?
14.
Yeah,
14, really?
man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oof.
16. It was the first release.
Bro, I was
of the
playing
CB1.
Minecraft back then.
It was? I thought it was 2016.
No,
Or maybe it was
play
2015.
Minecraft.
I got the
Shush.
cardboard. I got the
Cardboard
cardboard.
doesn't count.
No, I got the cardboard to try VR, and I was
Cardboard.
playing PC VR games. I remember playing War Thunder on the cardboard.
Oh my
we
god.
streaming from my computer. Tons of motion sickness. Okay,
Yeah, that
you can tell. And
couldn't have been good.
and after that, I proved that VR was going to be a success, and I got the DK2. I started developing some stuff on my end, and when CV1 came out, I was about to buy it, but I needed the controller, so I went to Touch to come out and got it.
Mhm. Yeah, well, hold on to that,
So-
developer kid.
Talking about the streaming, what do you think about Oculus killing virtual desktop? Maybe it's
It was
not
bound to happen.
killing.
No, it for
Maybe-
sure is, because who's going to buy virtual desktop when there's a native application that does it, and probably better? Because isn't virtual desktop just one guy?
Well, now I
Yeah,
just feel
I don't
dumb
know.
for buying virtual desktop when I got my Quest 2.
I don't gotta buy it now.
Jeff had to wait. Just hold on a little
I
bit.
did the same. I
Well,
did the same.
I couldn't put a whole preseason on hold because of my virtual desktop.
Maybe virtual desktop is implementing 120 Hz on streaming before Oculus.
Well, but Oculus has to. Well, first games have to support it, and then the Oculus server has to support
Not
it.
on
Well, the
PC?
Oculus server would, but
Not on PC.
yeah, okay, on PC they would, right?
See, I'm waiting for all
Okay.
these console kids to start buying Quest 2s and stuff and start playing on Quest 2s
They
thinking
are.
it's a console. Yeah,
you
I know
see 'em.
some of them
You
are.
read 'em all the time.
Yeah, you could tell. I got people coming into my Twitch chat while I'm playing like Gorilla Tag or Echo or something. They're asking like, "Oh, is this on the PS4? Is this on the PS5?" I'm like, "No, it's VR. Go buy Quest 2. Go."
Nah, dude. Yeah, get real.
I started to have to put links and stuff to like
Are you
VR
living in
headsets on my
2019?
Twitch.
Well,
was
like,
that
once
now?
you get your Quest 2, like put Quest 2 in the tag or something.
Well, see, what
You
I
have
love-
to tell them if they are living in 2019.
What
Yeah.
I love about the controllers really is that they have virtually the same exact setup when they're side by side as any console controller.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the same
like-
thing with the index.
So moving over from like a PlayStation, an Xbox, Nintendo, whatever, like is actually super simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
And it was
simple.
smart of them to do that. Like, that's why I can't understand whoever designed those Vive ones. Like, what were you thinking?
Yeah,
having
I
no
don't
buttons is
Let's
just
get
makes
a
no
PS
sense.
controller and split it in two.
Yeah.
That's what Oculus did.
Yeah.
But did you know you
Yeah,
can
that's
play
like-
VR
that's
with
like-
Joy-Cons?
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, you can. If you have it's a really weird setup. If you have an Xbox 360 or an Xbox One Connect, you can hook up the Joy-Cons to be tracked by it and play VR with Joy-Cons.
What?
I did it. I tried to
Cool.
do it once with an old 360, and I got it to work for like a day, and then it broke because the 360 wire just shredded itself somehow.
Wait, you play it on the 360 though? You
No,
don't
no,
hook
no,
the
no.
Connect up to the
You
PC?
hook up. So you have to
To a 360
resolder
Connect.
the 360 to USB to plug it in. You take this
Oh,
dude's
right.
software.
It's not.
You take this dude's
Oh my
software,
God.
and he has it set so, and then you hook up the Joy-Cons through Bluetooth, and then you can play VR. I played Beat Saber with Joy-Cons.
That's too much. I don't have a soldering kit yet. I'm not doing that.
But
I got a TS1000 sitting over there, so I got all the.
I
I got all
forgot
of
to
that stuff.
mention.
Good.
I
Yeah,
forgot-
yeah.
I forgot to mention before I got the CV1, I was using the DK2 with the PS Move controllers on my PC.
Oh my! Oh
There
my
was- there-
goodness!
There was a public driver for the PS cameras, for the PSI, and I had set up 3 in my room to have full 360 tracking with the
Wow.
with the PS moves. But the problem is that the center of the headset is not the same for the controllers. So every time I moved, my controller moved in an ellipse shape, so around me. So if I was in front of the camera like this, when I turn around, my controllers were like double the
Yeah. Oh my god.
Early VR really do be that.
Yeah, you're a pioneer, Nuck. I probably wouldn't have messed with that. I'd be like, this is VR. It's a gimmick.
That's what a lot of people were like in the beginning when like the Quest and the HTC Vive were out. People were like, "Oh, it's cool, but it's not gonna go anywhere."
Well, no, because I think most people's exposure to VR was like that cardboard or like a phone in that
Oculus Go.
Yeah, well, it's actually that's crazy.
And people is not like me.
my first ever experience technically with VR was one of those cell phones, and it was like my buddy was like, "Hey, check this out. Put this in this headset and put this on," and he's like, "And it's just gonna take you through Skyrim," and I did it. And I immediately got sick. I was like, nope, screw this. VR is not for me. And then the CV1, like, I tried that for the first time. And I was like, hey, guess what? Actually, cell phones just suck.
Yeah.
And, and VR
I remember playing in the DK2 Affected the Manor. You remember that game? With I scripted a program for my phone to take advantage of the accelerometer to move my legs and walk in the game.
Oh,
so,
jeez.
Yeah, I told you I was messing around with a lot of stuff by the time.
Damn. Yeah. So that's why you like that deck again. Did you work for them? They stole your idea. Gotta steal.
No, it's not the same. But I have to check how the phone works with the Decamove software. I don't know if it's
they've got to have some
or what.
Yeah, most people don't have Bluetooth on their motherboard. Like,
I got a Bluetooth adapter. You get a $2, $10 Bluetooth adapter from.
Right,
yeah,
but that's the point. You'll need an adapter, and Deca will probably sell the adapter, and that's how they'll make their money. But it'll be cheap. Like they can sell for $5-10, and then that's like, okay. Use their product.
You can use the Decamove with the Quest 2 natively. So if that works, I'm gonna move to hip tracking for onward. If that works, great. Like I expect.
Hip tracking and Snapshot would be amazing.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around like how it would.
Yeah, and
so,
no more feet getting shot because you're not realizing your foot sticking out of the bunker.
Now that I noticed that you can lean with the hip tracker, so I don't know if it's just orientation or position also, but you could lean and have a tracker on your hip.
So then that means that the hip tracker would essentially just cut the body in two, like, and just make it so that the top moves.
I think this hardware is only for orientation because they are using the accelerometer in the phone and the compass. So for that, you will need
if it's for orientation, I can't imagine that it would be too much more difficult to go ahead and make it so that you could lean.
Yeah, you can vary it to a point on the avatar that's just at the center of the body.
Exactly. A dev shouldn't have too much of a difficult time coding that in to where all it is like as long as the hip tracker's on, the avatar essentially gets split in two to where the top moves independently of the bottom of the avatar.
Yeah, but that tracker doesn't have XYZ axis.
Does it not track the remotes?
No, it only has the rotation in the Z axis.
Shoot. Okay.
Dang.
So,
I know what I'm making.
For that,
you use that. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You use the Deca move on your front to orient your movement, and then a Vive tracker on the back, or other way around, so that you can move and then snap.
you only need one Vive tracker. If you have 360 tracking with just one, you can do it.
You know what? The Deca move for orientation, right?
All I need is the Omni treadmill.
Yeah. The Cat C. I was gonna order one of those Cat C's.
Dude, no. I've seen. So my problem with those is I've watched videos of people using them, and anytime somebody takes a step, the entire thing looks like it's about to break.
Oh, really?
Dude, yeah, and they're leaning like. So watching it too, they lean so far forward when they're walking because they're not actually moving when they walk. so their feet naturally go behind them and the top of their body naturally leans forward. I just can't imagine that's a comfortable or immersive experience.
Well, like when you're running, you like the top of your body is actually,
Yeah, but if you
like
ever seen
leaning forward.
somebody run in those,
But the problem with the treadmill is that you are not running, you are sliding, and that's not a natural way of movement.
You all have seen the video of the dude full sprinting on one of the VR treadmills, and then the whole thing snaps, right?
That's what I'm talking about, man. Like,
but I saw I think it was Omni that was promoting the new treadmill, and the guy was fighting with the treadmill. He was not just running or sliding. He was fighting and trying to run the other way and trying to.
Yeah, honestly, the Omni looks like it's hard to use. Like any of those, the Cat C, any of them, they look like they're extremely difficult to use.
It's not natural, so
right.
Mm-hmm.
While you don't have a natural way of moving, it's not worth it. And
you have to have something that would predict where you're gonna move your feet, and we're not gonna have anything like that until we can like get a chip in our. So I mean, there's nothing.
Elon Musk Neuralink.
Someone's movement.
Hey.
Yeah.
Did you see the monkey playing Pong?
We're another step closer to Sword Art Online.
Yeah. That's what I'm waiting for.
Scare me with
Sign me up, Elon. Sign me up, bro. Implant that shit right in my brain. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to leave.
Yeah, he can steal your thoughts. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'll let y'all beta test it.
Dude, I'd sign up for a beta test for that instantly. I would not care. Human ethics, what are those?
No.
Now that we have the last 10 minutes to talk about, I want to mention one more thing about the Tundra Trackers, because they are competing with the Vive Trackers. They were releasing.
Oh yeah.
They were releasing a Kickstarter, I think, last week or so, and they are much better. In my opinion, they are smaller, cheaper. They are not cheaper, but I think they are the same price as the Vive Trackers, or for the bundle. And
if you get 3 of them.
Yeah, and I think I don't remember. Do they use the same tracking as the Vive, the laser?
They're compatible with base stations.
Yeah, that thing on top of Nuglo.
I thought,
Yes, they work with base stations. Yes,
okay.
I'm pretty sure. That's what I remember, at least. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure someone mentioned that they use base stations, and I think base station 1.0.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Because I mean, you have to have the widest possible adaptability.
Yeah, at least they are marketing it with the index, so yeah.
Then they're definitely. I really want to get the 2.0 base station so I can have full 360 tracking, like actually like a base station each corner of my room.
Yeah, I think I kind of want to get a third one, but I don't know if it would help because I have 2, but I might need to just raise my other one, and that might help and then point it down.
Do you have the 1.0s or the 2.0s?
I have 2.0s, but it might just be an issue with my controller because like I think I fixed it, but like I used to have like really bad jittering if I brought my controller close to my headset. My
same.
Like whoa, and I'm like, what is this?
See, I have one problem with the index controllers, and that's these things have too many breakpoints. Like my reason I'm RMAing this is because the wrist strap won't stay tight. It should not move back like this. I shouldn't be able to let it move back, but the inside mechanism broke.
Oh yeah, well that's just a spring. I don't know if they were easier to just take apart yourself.
And it's not making noise right now, but in some part of this controller there was jingling. Something got loose, something broken here, and it got in the trigger, and I had to clean it out somehow, which just
we forgot to mention that the PSVR 2 controllers have the same haptic feedback in the triggers than the PS5 controllers. So
that's cool.
They will work like a trigger in a real gun when you go to a point and then clips.
Oh, nice. Still doesn't make me want to get one though, because it looks like crap and will get in your way.
It would also require me to buy a PlayStation, and I'm good.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I spent enough
And
money on hardware already.
I think the PSVR, no, the PS5 is 500 and the PSVR is 500. So
That's
I will get
Just buy an index.
Yeah,
Just
no.
buy an
I will
index.
get an
get an
index.
Just
index.
buy an index. There's
Well, but you
no.
need a PC though.
Just
Yeah,
get a Quest 2 and save all
You-
of
you
that
know-
money for
Just
that.
get $700 to spend on a battery bank.
Yeah.
A battery bank, make a
But
Franken Quest, get
you-
you some extra controllers, like
You know, a lot of people
Brutal.
is getting already the PS5, and you only have to wait like till Christmas to get a discount in the PSVR too, or maybe Christmas, no, but in a year. So that's the whole market for PSVR.
Yeah, and, well, and as much as we're knocking it, like a lot of people are still Sony fanboys, and they will still buy a PS5. And if they're actually going in and trying to make better VR for it, I'm all for it. I just wish they would.
What's
tweak little
Xbox's
things.
VR going to be called?
Well, apparently they were never going to do VR. They had an announcement like a few months ago where they said we are never going to pursue VR. But I'm
Yeah,
hoping
and
they changed that.
yeah. But the
They-
thing is
They
said
had that.
but there's lines of code in their console
it's a-
for VR.
there was an error code mentioned in VR, and they
Oh yeah.
they told that it was a translation error or whatever. I don't think that, but the smartest way for them to get VR in the Xbox is using the Quest 2 with Link on Xbox, because they are using PC architecture in Xbox, so
Mm.
they virtually could just use Link in Xbox just straight out of the box.
Technically, you could actually use if you have an Xbox, what is the new one, Series X, whatever it's called, Xbox One X or whatever it is,
Something
whatever the
like
new one is. Actually, apparently, I've heard is going to have a Windows mode. So technically, you could straight up just use your Quest 2 link cable onto that when it's in Windows
Yeah,
mode.
if you had Xbox Game Pass, maybe, so you play the PC version of the game on your Xbox in Windows mode. Is that
Right.
No. You'd play the basically Xbox just becomes a computer, just becomes
Well,
a
I mean, like,
yeah.
Windows machine.
yeah, you've got games too on Xbox like Rec Room, where you can actually go into Rec Room on Xbox and crossplay with people on PC and VR.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so I feel like Xbox would be really dumb not to pursue the VR. Like,
Yeah, and
aspect
They
of
will.
gaming.
They will have to. Like, I didn't believe that person for a second when they said that. So
Like, well, Microsoft did announce that they weren't going to pursue VR on the Xbox, but
right, I don't blame
again,
them.
they have lines of code in it that literally fit just for VR.
Mhm. Well, do we think they'll ever have their own headset that would work with Xbox, or do you think it would just be easier for them to have Quest
think it-
2?
I think it'd just be easier for them to make other VR headsets compatible with it.
That would be the
Yeah.
easiest thing to do.
There's
and
more
they-
money for them if they make their own headset.
Because I think
No, they are just competing with with PlayStation without investing in VR. So that will be the smartest move.
yeah, it would
And
be for them
they
to
are
just-
they already
compatible
collaborated
headsets.
with
With
Oculus in
Mhm.
the first iteration. So I will bet on that.
I mean, even PlayStation could have went with that move and made their consoles compatible with VR headsets. It's just like you said, though, Shiva, is that like Sony was like, hey, we can sell this VR to go along with our PlayStation, and it'll just make us more money. And that's all that PSVR is. It's a money gambit. Whereas, like, they could have easily just gone compatible with other VR headsets.
Yeah, and PSVR 2 is gonna be the inflection point for VR in consoles, because they are moving to inside out tracking, a whole new headset. Because the original PSVR it was on par with the DK2, and
Yeah.
on PC we already had the CV1, so they were one generation behind.
Right.
This time they are just on par with PC VR headsets. So I think that they're gonna succeed in the console market with
Yeah, well,
VR.
especially if they get existing VR games into it.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
like
they are
DeVille's-
talk with Pavlov, so
Yeah, like if
That's
they've
many
already
other
signed on DeVille's, it's not that Dave's not going to create a new game for PlayStation. What they're going to do is Dave's going to port over Pavlov.
yeah, and I think Pop 1 is gonna be on consoles.
Pop 1
too.
will definitely
Oh,
port
yeah.
over. Contractors, I can see porting over.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
will love
The amount of times
I
they
will
update
love-
contractors kind of worries me for trying to get a port out on the Xbox for that or PlayStation.
Yeah, and as the PSVR 2 is similar to PCVR headsets currently, we will love to see crossplay between PS and PC and Quest. That will be double, and that will increase the user base by
Yeah.
I'd take pride in slapping some console fanboys around. That'd be fine.
Yeah, new thing. What headset you on? PSVR 2. Oh my god, why?
Yeah. Oh,
I feel like
guys, we got one here.
I feel like a lot of PSVR 2 people are gonna get discriminated against in
I think they're
public
gonna try
games.
their hand on
It's gonna
actually
go
gaming.
It's gonna go from Quest 2 players being discriminated against on PC VR to fucking console players.
To
being
console
discriminated
players.
against.
And just to close the podcast,
Yeah.
what do you
Yeah,
expect
it is.
from the Oculus game conference?
I have no clue.
Quest Pro.
Yeah, the announcement of
No.
the Quest Pro.
No, it's only gaming. It's only for gaming.
Oh, that's right. It's only
Okay,
games.
so-
So
Let's
Lone
see
Echo
another
2?
VRML announcement. So I mean, like for instance, the when the Quest 2 was announced and everything, and they were doing the whole Facebook Connect thing, the VRML was actually a whole part of that, like where they announced the VRML and what it's all about and whatnot. Like I could totally see Dakin and the rest of the VRML team like trying to get with Oculus again, be like, hey, throw us out there. Because especially where it's a gaming conference and not like a tech conference, absolutely I can see them being like, oh yeah, and guess what, guys, just in case you didn't hear us the first time, the VRML is a thing and they're awesome. So yeah.
that would be
What
great.
I expect is Splinter Cell and Assassin's Creed having a sneak peek.
Oh,
That's right.
I want that so bad.
And
I'm looking
hope-
forward to Splinter Cell more than Assassin's Creed.
Yes.
Yeah, I like both, but I'm down
I
for
want
both.
to be Sam Fisher, man.
yeah,
I want to play the Spies versus Mercs in VR. That
I'm
was
a
my
hu- I'm a
favorite thing
huge
to play
fan
in Nintendo.
of I'm a huge fan of Hitman, so a good Splinter Cell will do the
A Hitman
trick.
VR would actually be amazing.
Hitman VR is a thing.
It is a thing.
Oh, it is
Yeah,
a thing?
It's a thing.
Yeah, it
on
is a
PS.
thing that you have to wear the PSVR headset playing with a controller. So
Yeah.
it's not.
That's
it's
not
a
VR.
thing.
That's not
It's
VR.
not a thing, but it is a thing.
That's not VR.
And-
That's not
and
VR in
it's
my
kinda
opinion.
like-
That's
It's
Another
like
thing-
It's kind of like the GTA 5 VR mod, where like you can wear your VR headset, but you have to use a controller.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's not real actual VR gaming. That's just like playing it on a different screen.
You're
it's-
not.
I discard every game that uses a controller for first-person gaming.
Right.
Another thing I expect to see is an update on Medal of Honor, because I don't think
Shiva has some opinions about that.
Can we let
Yeah.
that die yet?
no, but I don't think Respawn is invested all that money in Medal of Honor, and they are just throwing it away.
Respawn.
So
Respawn has been known to do things and just throw it away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna cut their losses, I think.
yeah,
Like,
I just expected a good Medal of Honor, you know.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
me too.
Yeah.
We all expected a good Medal of Honor. Expectations were not met.
But
Res-
if in this conference they are releasing, not releasing, they are showing some gameplay of Splinter Cell and the other game, Assassin's Creed,
Assassin's Creed.
they need a new IP or a new game to be released in the future to keep things teased. So I expect something new to be shown in the.
Doesn't
I-
Ubisoft own Rainbow Six?
hmm
Yep.
Ooh,
Yep.
Rainbow Six VR.
Give me a Rainbow Six Siege VR game, bro.
That would be really fun. That would be
I'd
popular.
quit Snapshot. I'd quit contracts. I'd quit everything. I would only play that.
Ain't gonna happen, you know.
Why not?
Nah.
Splinter Cell and Assassin's Creed. They need a shooter because I mean
They do need
Splinter
a real
Cell
shooter.
sort of is a shooter, but that's not the. It's a stealth. game.
Titanfall 3 VR.
I hate you.
There was that thing in PSVR which was Rigs VR. It was like Titanfall in a competitive arena. Do you remember that game?
What is it?
No.
Rigs.
No.
No. It was
Played.
back in the day when PSVR was released.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
It was a mecha arena game.
There's
one on PC VR, Vox Machina.
Vox Machina, yeah.
Vox Machina.
Yeah, that game was awesome. I tried it. I tried it.
I tried to get into it. It was really hard to get into.
It's a
though.
mech game, Shiva, like where you're piloting your own mech.
How
and everything.
complicated are the controls? Is it like Steel Battalion?
I haven't played Steel Battalion.
Yeah, they're kind
but
of hard. I
it's-
got out of it because it was kind of just way too
Vox?
weird and hard.
Vox
me.
Machina, I played it in the DK2 with 2 joysticks.
Vox Machina, I played on the CV1, and then I played it on the Quest 2 with Virtual Desktop. It's actually surprising. When I first started playing it on CV1, the community was pretty dead. But now they've got games going all the time, like servers full, like full battles and everything going. And
Charging
it's
battery.
really cool, man. Only because I love the way you communicate with your teammates and everything too, where you have to grab the radio off the thing like a trucker radio.
Yeah, that was
Press
awesome.
the button
Yeah.
and be like, "Hey, man, I'm going over to like point whatever," and then put that back up. And you can pull your radar in front of you while you're piloting and everything. Like, I love simulators that have full touch controls.
Well, yeah, that's why like Steel Battalion when it first came out a long time ago. I had a friend, his dad was a pilot, and that's why he loved the game because he had a full like joystick setup with hundreds, maybe not hundreds of buttons, but like dozens of buttons that control different functions, and like it was super slow because you actually have to engage hydraulics and like, take off brakes and stuff. Like it was super complicated, but he was a pilot, so he was used to like seeing a whole bunch of controls and being familiar with them. Let me see if I can find it.
I think we got a.
Yeah.
We have hit about an hour 12 here.
Yeah.
We have a question in
okay.
chat that we could end on.
Right.
All these things going on right now. We could definitely have a talk about next podcast. But let's end this off with one last question from the chat. Big Boy Jun here says, "Do you think Nintendo will ever make a game for the Quest?"
No.
Nintendo.
No.
Yeah.
Nintendo's never going to get into the VR game. So
Nintendo
Capcom-
Labo though.
Don't say never.
No,
No,
Nintendo won't. Nintendo's not going to touch it.
Nintendo made their own VR headset for the Switch. You
Nintendo
literally
is
put the
easy-
Switch into it, and it's a VR headset.
But
No,
here's the thing.
It's
Here's the
funny,
thing
though.
with companies like Nintendo. Nintendo's one of the first prominent video game companies in the world. They don't have to make VR to compete. All they have to do is keep releasing consoles and releasing the same exact video games over and over and over again, and people will still buy them.
But
because
Mario
Nintendo's
Kart
a household
VR.
name.
And they do have
But-
a niche, but like there is a Mario Kart VR. Like it's like a ride at some amusement park. Haven't you seen that video? Like they're sitting
Yeah,
in
I've
like
seen that.
a car and they've got the headset on. So like I
That's
wouldn't
the
say
thing.
never. I think they might have something in the pipeline, but it's probably not heavily focused on because
I know Capcom
like you said, like they've got their niche.
Yeah,
Nintendo's
Capcom-
game is AR. Augmented reality. Okay, I don't know
Yeah.
how to talk.
I
That's
know
their
there was a
game.
leak from Capcom
Yeah.
saying that Resident Evil 4 was going on to VR, but other than that, I don't know. As far as
Yeah.
Nintendo is concerned, Nintendo is so
They are on mobile
with it.
right now, and that's a huge market for them.
Yeah.
So the augmented reality market is where they are gonna play in the future. But maybe if VR grows a lot, they are just releasing a game. Why not?
Right.
And they had some experience with motion controllers. They had the Wii. Like that was pretty close to VR controllers at least.
Oh, my favorite thing on the Wii
right.
was Zelda or Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. You can actually move this, move the Wii controller. It actually moved the sword, so you could hit at different
Wasn't it-
angles.
Wasn't it Twilight Princess? Not.
I thought it was Skyward Sword.
Yeah, I think it was Twilight Princess.
Because I played Twilight Princess on the Wii. I don't know if Skyward Sword. It would have been way after.
I remember playing GoldenEye on the Wii, and it was crappy. That's all I have to say.
I tried playing Call of Duty 3 on it, and it was so terrible.
Oh, hey, big news though, as far as that goes, not VR related, doesn't matter because like Shiva and Nuck are here, so you guys are older gamers too. GoldenEye's rights were just sold for a reboot, so it's coming
Really?
back, bitches.
Wow.
Yeah, but you know, a game with that nostalgia is gonna be bluff. It happens all the time, so I'm gonna just keep in my mind the original GoldenEye.
Yeah, that's what I want to keep there. Yeah.
Maybe
right.
if they do a remake with current graphics on the original, I will get it. But
That's fair.
if they are trying to, because the good thing about that game was the gameplay and the gun handling with the Nintendo 64 controller.
Right.
You cannot port it to nowadays. So yeah, only a remake with mouse and controller or a current controller will do the trick.
Anyways, but yeah, we're 12 minutes past time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's end it there. We went a little bit
That's a
over,
good
a little bit
point
off, but
for Nintendo.
As always.
as always, thank you all for watching. This is the third episode of the Phantoms podcast, and yeah, we will see you all next week. Hopefully, later.
Guys.
See ya.